shoo. It's time to slow everything down. Wherever you are, however your day unfolded. Right now, none of it needs to follow you here. This is your time to rest, to soften, to drift. Take a deep, gentle breath in. Let it travel down your spine. And now, let it go, as if a breeze just passed through you. Let your shoulders settle, let your jaw untense. Let your eyes grow just a little heavier. You're safe here. There's no rush. No judgment. Just stillness. Just soft sound. And story. Now, imagine a quiet street. Cobblestones underfoot, still warm from the day's sun. Tall timbered houses leaning inward like they're whispering secrets. There's a hush in the air, the kind of hush that only comes when the lanterns are lit and the city gates have just closed for the night. A soft wind drifts through the narrow alleyways. You feel it touch your cheek. It carries with it the faint scent of iron, beeswax, and soot. A black cat passes silently in front of you. And a little further down, a flicker of warm amber light glows from a tiny window just above the ground. That is where our story begins. Our story tonight sets sail on a narrow street, Ember Lane, hidden within the old quarter of a walled city, a place where the stones remember every footfall, and shadows seem to hum with memory. At the very end of Ember Lane, tucked beneath a crooked stone arch, is a workshop barely wider than a carriage. Its door is always shut by dusk, save for one, small, keyhole, that glows faintly with blue light when the stars begin to show. The shop belongs to Master Ewan, the locksmith of Ember Lane. A quiet man, with silver in his hair, and the gentlest hands you've ever seen. They say he was once an apprentice to the King's Gatewright. But now, he chooses to live quietly, listening more than speaking. Crafting not just locks for doors, but keys, for dreams. The inside of the shop is still. So still, you can hear the soft tick of the iron pendulum clock hanging above the hearth. A fire crackles low in the stone grate, not too hot, just enough to make the brass tools shine amber. The room smells faintly of oiled leather, pine smoke, and cold metal. It's peaceful, the kind of place where silence wraps around you like a soft cloak. Along the walls, hang hundreds of keys. Some are simple, with tiny teeth like flower petals. Others are elaborate, twisted with symbols you don't recognize. Some have small bells tied to their loops, and some are shaped like stars, moons, or owls. And in the very center of the room, sits Ewan. His hands are moving slowly over a long piece of bronze. He files and hums and files. He works by lamplight alone, because he says daylight is too harsh for delicate dreams. He's not alone. Tonight, a child sits beside him, small, wrapped in a wool cloak, eyes wide with sleepiness and wonder. The child's name is Tomas, the baker's boy. And tonight is his first night dreaming with a key made just for him. As Ewan works, his voice rises softly, like dust floating in a sunbeam. Did you know, Tomas, he says, in the time of our father's fathers, each city gate had a key so large it took 2 men to lift it? And every night at curfew, the city's bell would toll, and the watchman would turn that great iron key to seal the town shut. Tomas leans closer, blinking slowly. But that wasn't all, Ewan continues. There were keys not for doors, but for secrets. Keys made by locksmiths who knew how to hide things in plain sight, under floorboards, inside candle holders, even sewn into robes. He lifts a little iron key from his tray and turns it slowly. It glints. This one, for example, he whispers, is a warded key. See those little notches inside? They match a special pattern, like a puzzle, inside the lock. If the pattern isn't perfect, the door never opens. Tomas's eyes are half closed now. He imagines a giant iron key, turning slowly in a creaking gate. He hears the groan of the hinges echo through stone alleys. He sees lanterns lighting up, one by one, just before the stars bloom overhead. And this, Iwan says, holding up a thinner, polished brass key, is yours. Tomas sits up a little straighter. Mine? Iwan smiles. Not for any door in this world. This one unlocks the place you go when you dream. Iwan places the little brass key in Tomas's palm. It's warm, as if it's been sitting in the sun. But there is no sun now, only starlight through the frosted glass. Close your eyes, Iwan murmurs. Tomas does. Now, turn the key in the lock behind your forehead, gently, like you're opening a music box, and listen. The sound is soft. A slow, echoing click. And then, the hush of wind through tall pine trees. The creak of old wood beneath your feet. The faint clinking of distant bells tied to a horse's reins. Tomas is no longer in the workshop. He's standing before an enormous arched doorway made of woven branches and stone. The brass key glows faintly in his hand. He steps forward. And the door opens with a whisper. On the other side is a village made entirely of dreams. The rooftops are stitched from wool, the rivers shimmer like silver threads. Each house has a soft lantern hanging from its eaves, glowing gently with stories waiting to be heard. A figure waves from a nearby path. It's a blacksmith, but not of iron. This one forges memories, polishing old ones and shaping new ones from melted laughter and quiet courage. Welcome, she says, to the Key Keep. The blacksmith guides Tomas through winding cobblestone paths, but these stones feel soft beneath his feet, almost like velvet. Each step echoes faintly, like a memory being remembered for the very first time. Above them, dreambirds float silently, woven from threads of starlight and parchment. They carry tiny satchels, each filled with one forgotten lullaby. When they land on rooftops, their wings emit a faint hum, like a sleeping violin. The blacksmith's forge glows with an aurora-colored flame. She takes a lump of something soft, a shape halfway between a thought and a sigh, and presses it into an iron mold. You see, she says to Tomas, dreams must be shaped, or they drift apart. And when people grow older, they forget to shape them, until they no longer fit. Tomas nods, though he doesn't quite understand. Still, it makes sense in the way dreams often do. He turns a corner and finds a cloaked man painting lanterns with ink made from melted moonlight. Each lantern is labeled with a different name. Memory of the ocean. The smile of a stranger. Rain through wooden shutters. Which one is mine? Tomas asks. The painter doesn't speak, but gently hands him a lantern labeled. The smell of bread before dawn. He holds it close. And instantly, he's back in the bakery, before sunrise, watching his mother shape dough, her hands firm yet gentle, humming softly. He hadn't even realized how much he missed that smell. Beyond the lantern path lies a great hall, its ceiling so high that clouds drift lazily inside it. This is the archive of lost locks. Each drawer holds a dream never unlocked. They're sorted by age, by hopes that slipped away, or doors that were never opened. A kindly elder sits at the center, hunched over a parchment scroll. He looks up and smiles. Ah, you've come with your first key, he says to Tomas. Would you like to see the lock it opens? Tomas hesitates. What if it's something I don't want to see, he whispers. The elder chuckles, softly and kindly. Then the key will know. It only opens what you're ready for. With trembling fingers, Tomas hands him the little brass key. The elder places it gently into a box marked, Still Becoming. There is a pause. A breath. And then, the lock clicks open. Inside is a mirror. But it doesn't show Tomas's face. Instead, it shows him standing years from now, taller, braver, carrying bread to a neighbor's doorstep in the snow. It shows him laughing beside the forge. Reading by candlelight to someone smaller than him. Listening, like Iwan always did, with full attention. Tomas doesn't say anything. He simply breathes out, slowly, like releasing a weight he didn't know he carried. The dream begins to shimmer. The village fades like ink in water. The lantern in his hand flickers, then dims. He hears a voice, distant but familiar. The creak of a chair, the scratch of a pen, the soft clink of metal. "Come back gently," says Iwan's voice, like wind through linen. Tomas blinks. He's back in the locksmith's shop. The fire is low, the tools are still, and outside, snow has begun to fall. The little brass key lies beside him, warm as ever. But now, it seems to glow faintly with something known. "Did you see it?" Iwan asks quietly. Tomas nods. "Did you understand it?" Another nod. Iwan smiles and presses the key into a velvet pouch. "Keep it close," he says. "It'll always know the way back." Tomas rises, wraps his wool cloak tighter, and steps into the night. Ember Lane is silent, save for the gentle crunch of snow beneath his boots. The city sleeps, every window dark, every alley hushed. But in Tomas's hand, the key is still warm. And in his chest, something has settled. Something still and sure. Now, let that image settle in your mind. The snow falling gently on the cobbled lane. The soft light of lanterns glowing behind frost-glazed glass. The feel of a brass key in your palm, still warm from a dream you almost remember. Let the sounds grow softer now. The ticking of the locksmith's clock. The hush of the forge. The slow creak of drawers filled with forgotten things. Breathe in, softly. And as you breathe out, imagine the weight of your day dissolving, like steam above the hearth. You're safe. You've locked the door behind you. And you hold the key to rest. Drift, now. Float like the parchment birds through starlit rafters. Let your breath match the slow rhythm of a bell long silenced. You've gone walking down Ember Lane. And every step has brought you closer. To stillness. To quiet. To sleep. Good night. Dream well. And remember. The locksmith will be waiting. Always.